Hey, friends and revolutionaries, back for part 4. Part 4. And you see the fishbowl. We see the fishbowl, which means that it's almost time. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the one. We'll have to wait and see, but with what we've got left, this may be it. This may also be the last time that you see the entire set of Wave 10s lined up here against the background, with, of course, the completed Imperiex here in the corner. Somebody, one of you, in the fishbowl. And just to let you know, something where there is 1,000 of you. I had to cut the names real thin because the way I had to save on paper. But there is 1,000 of you in here. There are 1,000 of you in here, I promise. But you're all in there, and one of you will get the full set with your own parts to build the Imperiex. But before we answer that last question, next one is going to be from the Mr. Transformer 6. And do you like DC or Marvel better? Flat out. Who do you like better? Well, for epic universe-changing stuff, for stuff that's, just big and huge and just epic, I like Marvel. Marvel seems to be able to tell their stories and yet have it end up with the magic reset button so that nothing serious changes. We all end up in pretty much the same spot we were before, with a few things that have taken place. Secret Wars, Spider-Man got his costume, things that pan out later, but really, nothing that leaves you scratching your head going, so what happened? What does this mean? Because DC, when things end, it's an immediate repercussion, and you're kind of left scratching your head thinking, okay, hold on, Now, contrary-wise, I think DC does very good character stories. The Death of Superman, The Madness of Hal Jordan, Battle for the Cowl, these were all really great character stories, and I think that's really good because, they are good at giving, instant repercussions. There's results of things that happen, and they're very good at that. And I think that in that case, they do good character pieces, whereas Marvel's better with the big stuff. Let's see. That's the Mr. Transformer. ACICON. ACICON. What's your dream job or profession? I think it'd be a movie critic. You get to go see all the premieres, get to hobnob with all the stars, get to live all the glitz and glam of Hollywood, and then when somebody asks you, what you thought of it, it's okay. So, that's all right. It's something you get to live the high life, and just kind of say it's all right, it's okay. Before I put that down, the next question comes from Mr. Decepticon Leader. He has 2 questions. If you could meet and talk to any comic book character, who would it be and why? I'd say it has to be the Joker. If there's one thing that I think is interesting is when you listen to when you watch movies about crazy people, what is it? Just psychologically really messed up people. When they talk, they have their own logic. And it's interesting to see where they get their ideas from. They get some nutty ideas. And I think the Joker is probably the nuttiest out there. So I would love to be able to sit there and just listen to him, have him tell me about life. Kind of a Silence of the Lambs thing. Do it behind the plexiglass, dude, but tell me what you think on life. Give me your insights. I think that would be an interesting conversation. And if you could choose to be a superhero or a villain, who would it be? Or which would I choose? I'd like to think I'd be a superhero, but, that's a lot of work. You've got to keep your identity secret. When something happens, you got to find a way to sneak off. And if you got a day job, that's not easy. It's something you got to find a convenient phone booth or bathroom stall where you can change. And then make sure nobody sees you when you go in and come out. It's just, it's a lot of work. Being a hero's got to be a lot of work. The other side, though, is being a villain. Well, who cares who you are? You're a bad guy. You want them to know who you are. But you always got to find a lair at a good price. You got to find flunkies. You got to find some henchmen. Good henchmen are hard to find. And then you know it's something where you got to constantly be playing to break out your next breakout of prison and jail. You know, who has time to dominate the world when you're constantly having to plan for your next escape from jail? You know, that's a lot of work too. So as much as I'd like to be a hero, that's a tough call. That's a tough one. Let's see. The MC12. Do you prefer Marvel or DC? And what's your favorite X-Men? Well, as I just mentioned, depending on the kind of story, I like Marvel for the big stuff, DC for the more character-driven stuff. Favorite X-Men? Bishop. Guy rocks. Guy is so cool. It's one of the things where, you know, his power is pretty, you know, it's not real dazzling. He still needs to, you know, he still uses his guns and so forth. But he's still got a good attitude. He's got good time travel stories. I like Bishop. I like him. Evo 1500. What Batman is your favorite incarnation from the DC Universe or Classic line? I like the Batman from Wave 1, the one in the blue and gray, kind of the Super Friends one. The reason for that being is that there have been enough Batman in black and gray and black and gray, some with mud, some with the oval, some without, some with the black or some with the oval, mud, and in gray. Some with a different belt, some a little bit larger in scale. We've got so many different ones that it's like, I'm tired of the black and gray. I am tired of it. And even though, you know, we do have the black one here, the completely black one, which is cool, I still actually like the blue and gray with the oval. Again, a lot more Super Friends, and just a very cool figure. If I read right, it's supposed to get re-released under the All-Star series, which I think is high time. I'm sorry I missed that figure. I would love to get a hold of Wave 1 with the Penguin. But it's something where, yeah, that would be my favorite Batman from the series. Now, there was a Batman they released under the superhero line that was packaged with Batgirl, but that one was so different in style, and I may show him, you know, at some point, but he was so different in style, I can understand why he never made it to the DC Universe set, why they kind of redid Batman. But that was actually a good Batman, too. But if you're talking about from the universe, I like the Wave 1. Rocketman Productions. Yeah, I got time. What comics are you currently following? Not many, dude. Really, not many. Batman, Dick Grayson with Damian. I'm following that one. Batgirl, of course. There's no surprise. And Supergirl with the whole Bizarro World story that just wrapped up a couple months ago. Those are the three I'm reading right now. On and off some other things, but those are the ones I'm following, you know, regularly. Doc Jax, if your collection could be in one scale, which would you choose? I choose 7-inch NECA style, mainly because, you know, I think 6-inch figures are just under the line, where when you start adding a lot of detail, it starts to look a little cluttered and a little messy. I have to say that 6-inch figures don't quite lend themselves as well to being very highly detailed. Add an extra inch, kind of, you know, increase the proportions, and I think 7 inches is just about right. I think it's just right. Not too big, but still big enough that you can start to get some real nice fine detail and make them look good. So I would want them all to be in 7 inches. As boring as that would be, if I had to choose. Blobbings, 1, 2, 3. Any thoughts on the new Marvel vs. Capcom 3 game? Well, yeah, it's got She-Hulk in it. That's worth getting. And since I'm on the topic of versus, are there any epic matchups you'd like to see in the comic universe? Well, in the comic universe, maybe. I mean, what I'd really like to see is a wrestling match between She-Ra and Supergirl in bikinis in an inflatable swimming pool filled with Jell-O. That's the epic matchup I would choose. What are 5 figures you think need most improvement that you currently own? This is Dark Inferno Elvis. Hey, I remember when you subscribed, dude. Glad to see you. Well, the Harley Quinn from the DCUC, as I mentioned before, she's one of the worst of that line. She really needs to get redone, mainly just in the face. The rest of the body is fine. Just redoing the face, you know, needs to get done. Spider-Woman from Marvel Legends. And I picked Spider-Woman mainly because she's probably the worst example. And hold on just a second. Yeah, she's probably the worst example of how those female Marvel Legend figures came out. I mean, those really need to be redone. The entire, most of the female figures from Marvel Legends, I think, need to be redone. Spider-Woman just being the example that I'm using. A lot of the Marvel Universe series, you know, it's a real hit and miss series, more miss than hit. And the MJ figure, the People's Choice MJ figure, That was such a letdown. I can't believe they skimped so bad on that figure. That was terrible. Archangel, I mean, cool idea with the wings. He actually looks pretty cool. But when you really get a look at the figure, and I didn't do a review on him. I wish I had now. It's something where, yeah, he's not bad, but it's just blah. It's just, it could have been so much nicer, I think. And then also, I think the Marvel Legends, Marvel Select She-Hulk. Cool figure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't change anything on it except for the fact that I would give her a base in which all the parts sit on, because the car that she comes with the steam coming out of the tires and so forth, it doesn't stand upright. And since I shot that review, it has fallen over more times than I can count, to the point where now I don't even have her standing there. I've kind of got it set aside. I've got to find a way to get it back together and make it stand better. But that one really needs to get redone from the Marvel Select series. Let's see here. Jimmy's 72nd. Okay, so my question is, what do you make of Christopher Nolan's vision of Batman? I don't know a whole lot about it. Everything I've been hearing is rumors, or at least that's been told it's a rumor. It's not real. It's just a rumor. It's not going to happen. Well, I'm having a hard time knowing what to believe now. But from what I've heard, I'm not concerned. I think that he's going to do a fairly good job. I don't think he's going to do anything too crazy. What I am worried about, though, is them overstuffing the movie with characters. Well, Batman did it. The Tim Burton Batman, the Spider-Man series, Spider-Man 3 did it. It's something where, whenever a story gets a reboot, they always send it back to the one hero and one villain. It does great, and then they tend to make the sequels go on and add more to it, to the point it needs another reboot. Why? Stick with one hero and one villain. Dark Knight with Two-Face and Joker, okay, that kind of worked, but I would not have pushed it any further than that. That went as far as I think it should go. That was the furthest. If they do too much, or try and give too much time to somebody, it's just going to ruin it. And that's the only thing I'm worried about. Next, Shinigami Master asks, what figures would you want to see in a wave of new Marvel Legends? A dream theme, or just some random heroes and villains you really like? 8 figures and a Build-A-Figure. Well, it would probably be random figures that they haven't done yet that I would like to see. Speaking of Archangel, I would like to see him do a much nicer Archangel. Even if they use the Angel mold and give him a little bit of extra here and there. Even though I don't have Angel, that's one of the ones I'm missing. That's why I haven't done the Sentinel yet, guys. I don't have Angel yet. But it's something where if they just did a good Archangel, I think that would be really cool. Nova, the Herald of Galactus. I think Nova would be a cool character to do with translucent hair. Kind of outdo the Starfire that Mattel did. Silver Sable. I always thought Silver Sable was kind of hot. So I would love to see them do a Silver Sable. Not in chrome. I think they did one that was actually in chrome and it looked terrible. Just do a silver plastic, Silver Sable. That would be cool. Spider-Girl, not Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl, kind of the daughter of Peter Parker. That would be actually a cool one to see. Darkhawk, if anybody remembers Darkhawk back in the 90s, I had his rookie card from the Marvel Collector's Card series, and I have his first comic. I thought Darkhawk was had a lot of potential. I think that if they did a Marvel Legend character of him, it could, bring some interest back to him. This one would be really cool. Death's Head 2 from Marvel UK. Death's Head 2. I mean, I don't think they've ever done a 6-inch version of him. I don't know if they've ever done a version of him at all. But if they did a 6-inch Marvel Legends Death's Head 2, I'd be all over that figure. That would just rock. That would be so cool. Medusa. I would want to see a Medusa figure. And I'd want to see a Medusa because it's something where, I always want there to be a character in the wave that has a connection to the Build-A-Figure. And in this case, Build-A-Figure would be Lockjaw. The dog, the Inhuman dog. Because, if they've got Mojo and MODOK, Thing Fang Foom, Lockjaw would not be that big a stretch for them to stay in the theme of the Marvel Legends. So, that would be my wave right there if I could put one together for Marvel. Little Demons Film asks, what action figure line are you most excited about the coming year? I think the 6-inch Thor figures. I don't know if there's going to be a 6-inch Thor. I've seen the 3 1/4 inches at my Toys R Us, and they're cool. They're actually very cool, but I'm not as stoked on them as I thought I would be. It's something where they look good, but there aren't that many. I think there's like 6, and all their weapons seem to have these gimmicks and so forth. And I don't know. I'm not as excited on the 3 1/4 as I would the 6-inch ones. So I'm scoping out my Walmarts to see if there's going to be any exclusive Thor figures at Walmart. And that was Little Demon Films. Let's see, Metal 11 King. Let's see, out of the superhero teams out there, which ones would you like to see made into a movie? And his stipulation, can't use movies already made or have been announced. Well, how about this? And I thought this was kind of cool to think about. Is that back in the day, there was a 2-issue story in which the Fantastic Four disappeared, and the Gray Hulk, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, and Wolverine had to fill in as the Fantastic Four to find out what happened to the team. And I remember that issue. I wasn't reading Marvel at the time, but I bought it because I was a Fantastic Four fan, and I was thinking, the 4 of them, how did this happen? I was hoping I didn't miss the backstory on what had happened. But it was just a 2-issue kind of mini-story with those 4 teamed up, and I kind of thought, even if they had stuck together as a team, that would be kind of cool. And honestly, you've already got these actors cast. You've already got these people set, the costumes, the effects, everything's already done. So even though, individually those movies have already been made, let's throw them together into a hero movie and see what we come up with. That I think would be better. That would be better than a Part 3 Fantastic Four, is just seeing these 4 together. What superhero heroines would you like to see team up? Well, I'd love to see She-Ra and Supergirl, as I drooled over a moment ago. Teela and Wonder Woman. This is the stuff that I would like to see in the Marvel, the DC Universe, Master Universe 2-packs, kind of the 2-pack ones. Teela and Wonder Woman, and Orko and Gleek. I'd really like to see that. And more along those lines, as far as who I'd like to see team up, I would love to see I'd like to see DC, because of the connection they have with Mattel, get to do new comics, just little throwaway 12-page comics of the team ups of the characters who are in the packs. Like, let's see them do a comic with Hal Jordan and Zodak. Let's see a She-Ra and Supergirl team up comic that they pack into the 2-packs. It's better than those little mini posters they're putting in, though. Those things are terrible. But do little comics, just throw away 12-page stories, with those characters. I would love to see it. I loved it with the first series they did. Do it again. And that was from Dejon1. Dejon1, thank you for spelling your name out for me, by the way. Last question, and this is from Andrew Galaxy 123. Do you think DC Universe Classics should release some characters that did not get a toy form in 6-inch scale, and would the characters be a lot better on this scale than Mattel's Justice League line that will end later this year? Well, if you're talking about taking some of the Justice League characters and putting them in 6 inches, as long as they kept them in the style of, I think they would be cool. Otherwise, there's really no point to it. Doing a Scarecrow in the style of the Justice League for 6-inch, that would be kind of cool. A little bit more articulation, but still keeping it in the style. Same thing with, who else? Brainiac. Brainiac would be a good one to do in the style of the Justice League, just in a larger scale. Sorry guys, had to reset my camera there. So yeah, as far as releasing some of the characters that didn't get a 6-inch version, I think they could really go somewhere with it if they did it in 6 inches. The Justice League characters in 6 inches, limited run, make it a Target exclusive. Why not? They do all sorts of weird stuff, and do some of the characters. The Apache Chief, the 3-pack that had Apache Chief, Samurai, and Black Lightning. Even though Black Lightning's been done, but do those in the style of the Justice League in 6-inch versions. And again, give them a little more articulation than they have now, but make them a little bit larger. I think that would actually be very cool. So that's all the questions that I got from the time that this started. So anyone who's answered any additional questions, save them. Ask them when we come up to 1,500 subscribers. That's probably the next Q&A I'll do. Will I have something to give away? Probably. What it is, I won't tell you, but there'll be something. For now, here's the 1,000 of you. Here's the 1,000 of you. And I know some of you are looking at it going, don't shake it up. You'll drop one again. No. We're just going to reach in. And we're going to fish around. We're going to pick a winner. Who will be 4293172. Okay. I don't know if this is a real subscriber, but if you are, here you go. And don't pay attention to that remove. They all have that. But number 4293172. Okay. Whoever you are, you've got a week to send me your address. International orders, we might have to talk a little bit about shipping, but guys, I certainly thank you all for watching. Congratulations, 4293172. Congratulations, you're the big winner. Hope everybody enjoyed watching. If you didn't win this, again, guys, there'll be more good stuff coming up. I certainly thank you for your questions. Stay tuned. We've got a really classic wave of DC Universe coming up. Rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.